Welcome to Frequency Matters, the RF and Microwave Update. I'm Pat Hindle, and I'm here with my co-host Gary Lerude. In this episode, we thought we would cover the August satellite and radio communications issue, which is also our EDI CON USA issue.
Right.
And EDI CON USA registration is open, so go to ediconusa.com to register. It takes place September 20th through the 22nd at the Hindle in Boston. Should be a good show.
Definitely. Looking at the program, it looks outstanding.
Yeah. And so for our cover feature, with the ever-increasing need for capacity, we often forget about satellite systems. So we asked Intelsat at the satellite show to give us a view on what their future is of technology in that area. So they looked at high-throughput satellite technology that they're going to be introducing and how that can complement the hybrid wireless network of the future. So a very interesting article. I know you did a lot of work on that.
Yeah, it was very interesting, as you say, a good overview.
So what else do we have for technical features?
So as a former colleague of mine used to say, we have a slew of articles. Starting off with an interesting one from IMEC about the architecture of a digital transmitter that eliminates the need for SAW filters. And of course in wireless, mobile wireless, where you have so many bands that we're trying to cover, if you can get rid of the area requirement for a SAW filter, you have some great gains. We also have an article from Cambridge Consultants talking about smart antennas for 5G. And kind of the focus of this article is the architecture and the antennas for broadband coverage. So imagine a system that would go from 800 or 900 megahertz up to 2.4 or higher gigahertz in one basic system. We have one of our review board articles, a 100-watt VHF power amplifier. The thing that's interesting about this is it uses a feed-forward design with a passive vector modulator to get very good linearity. So the third-order intermod is like minus 62 dBc. Did you take any waveguide courses in school?
No, I did not.
Okay, well here's an article for you. Pasternak has written an overview of waveguide, what they call waveguide tips and facts that you can't learn in school. So that's a good one.
So I wouldn't have learned it anyway.
You wouldn't have learned it anyway. And then our colleague Andre Muller has done an article on his hyperbolic Smith chart. I know you worked with him on that one.
Yeah, he's continued to develop that 3D Smith chart. Very good job.
So those are the tech features this month.
Yeah, so turning to products, the MVP was a Lantec RF's LSS satellite simulator, and that can replace the traditional loop test translators that actually have to be hardwired into the system. So it's a completely wireless system. It's battery operated, so you can just put it up by the satellite, and it has horn antennas for transmit and receive channels, and does both Ka band and Ku band versions, and it's a great solution. I think it'll be very good for future technology.
Yeah, quite interesting.
What else do we have for products?
So products, we have a couple of them. If you're doing terahertz kind of measurements, you'd be interested in this one from Keysight and a couple of their partners, where they're actually using a vector network analyzer with frequency extenders to do spectrum analysis in the terahertz band. And you can work with either OML or the Virginia Diodes frequency extenders. The other one is from a company, Pronghorn Solutions in Denver. And they have a very low noise wideband frequency synthesizer. It goes from like 10 megahertz to over 26 gigahertz. And it's available in 3 form factors. So there's a modular one, a handheld one, and then a benchtop one. And I hadn't heard of them before, but they have a very good performing series of these frequency synthesizers.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
It's a big issue.
Yeah. How about news?
So in the news, I just returned from NI Week, and if people watched our Frequency Matters episode last time, they saw the introduction of the second generation vector signal transceiver from NI, which is an amazing product. In 2 Pixie slots, they fit 5 devices. So it's a 6.5 gigahertz vector signal generator, vector signal analyzer. It also has a field programmable FPGA and also high-speed digital interfaces for both parallel and serial interface. So it's a lot compacted into a small device there, and what's amazing, it's only 2 slots and has 1 gigahertz of bandwidth. So to me, that's the big thing, 1 gigahertz
amazing.
Of real-time bandwidth. And what they didn't show us in our episode that they showed at NI Week is that you can actually stitch multiple units together. So because it's only 2 slots, you can fit 4 into a chassis.
Right.
And with one of these setups, they were able to get 3.5 gigahertz of real-time bandwidth with no sacrifice in performance. Because you're stitching them together, you still get the full performance of an individual unit. So
amazing.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
So I did a nice video of 5 different application demos at NI Week, so you can see a full wrap-up of the event video, pictures on my blog. They also introduced the MIMO application framework, which this software, when paired with their software-defined radio setup, can prototype both MIMO and massive MIMO systems. It automatically generates LabVIEW source code that you can manipulate to do your own experimentation. And the one great example they gave was Bristol and Lund University in the UK teamed up and they set a world record for spectral efficiency. So this is 4G network massive MIMO, and they achieved 145.6 bits per hertz per second, which smashed the old record, which is much below 100.
Wow.
So it's a big accomplishment, and we see a lot more of that research going on. Be fun stuff to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think people forget that, we talk about 5G all the time, but 4G still has a lot of improvements that it can make.
Oh, exactly.
And they're going to achieve speeds eventually that are close to 5G before the introduction of the actual 5G.
It'll be an evolutionary path.
Yes. So how about you? What did you have? I think there's a big breaking news that you covered.
Well, I think this happened maybe while you were out of town, but Analog Devices announced that they were acquiring Linear Technology, so it's the latest in the semiconductor mergers. This is like a $14 billion acquisition. We had a chance to talk to Peter Reel, who's the Chief Technical Officer about Analog Devices, and the way he positioned this acquisition is it's not one for scale, it's one for scope. And Linear Technology really brings them a capability and a product portfolio and power management, which was kind of a gap that Analog Devices had.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of complementary products in the other areas, but power management is really a key thing. And it will take what Analog Devices did in terms of like $3.5 billion in revenue last year and move them up to like $5 billion.
Yeah, wow, that'd be big.
The other thing, financially, it's very good for Analog Devices because if you look at just gross margins, Linear Technology runs about 10 points better than Analog Devices. So when you weight the revenue and so forth, it'll improve Analog Devices' margin by about 3 points, which the financial analysts will like.
Yes, well, they like those high margin businesses like Hittite
exactly.
and now Linear Tech.
Exactly. So now Analog Devices has really expanded their product portfolio even further to be more of a complete semiconductor solution provider. The deal won't probably close until sometime in 2017, next year, because of course they have to go through all these regulatory approvals. They don't anticipate any issues, but it takes time.
Of course.
So you mentioned you were at NI Week. You've been on the road a lot the last couple weeks.
So the week before that, I was in Ottawa at the IEEE EMC show. Very interesting that they've expanded the conference greatly with signal integrity and power integrity. So you have all three subjects covered. Very big conference.
Yeah.
The exhibition seems like it's gotten a little bit smaller, but still very significant. We visited some of the RF companies that were displaying their EMC products from Keysight, Rohde & Schwarz, CST, Altar, AR for amplifiers, a few others. So again, you can see a summary with videos and pictures on my blog for that also.
Yeah, you covered that really well.
Oh, thanks. So anything else on events?
Yeah, I wanted to tag on your comment about EDI CON and encourage folks to go to the EDICONUSA.com website. Look at the technical program. You'll see the tremendous work that's been done to put together just a stellar program, and register. You can register right on site, and particularly if you're in the Boston area, I really encourage coming down. I mean, you can come down for a day. The exhibition, I think, is sold out at this point.
Yep.
It's easy to walk through the exhibition. It's down at the Heinz Convention Center. You can register for some of the workshops and conferences. There's a whole gamut of things.
Yeah, we have a couple panels, workshops, a couple training courses.
Right. So it's particularly if you're in the Boston area or within a day's drive of Boston, it'd be a shame to miss it. So we encourage you to go to the website EDICONUSA.com. And I think that's a wrap, right?
I think it is.
Well, thanks for watching, and we want to thank our sponsor for making this program possible, Mini Circuits. You can find out about their vast array of products at their website, minicircuits.com. We hope to see you on the next episode.